Bottles are sometimes used for decoration. Sometimes people will paint the outside of them. Today I will be showing you how I painted the inside of some with some spray paint. These bottles are for decoration. Anything put inside of them should not be consumed. First I'll be showing how I painted these, then I will talk about a few things to keep in mind. Before I paint the inside, I clean the bottle out, doing a final rinse with a bit of acetone, then letting that dry. Spray painting the inside of a bottle seems straightforward. Just point and spray a few short sprays. Although the process is easy, it's a little bit more complicated than just that. You can see that I got a thick coating in the neck of the bottle, but in the main body of the bottle, the paint is a bit more sparse. And since the paint in the neck is so thick, it is already running and uneven. If you end up spraying enough paint into the bottle that it collects into a runny puddle, you can spread it out and not run as much as it sets by holding it at an angle and slowly rotating it. Do this at a semi-upright angle for a minute or two, then tip it the other way and slowly rotate it like this. Go back and forth like this several times until you see it's a bit set. Now let's take a look at the progress. It's hard to see on the camera, so I shine a light through it from behind. You can see that it's a bit patchy and runny. This is to be expected just because so much of the paint gets built up at the neck of the bottle. Just let it set for more time and dry more between layers than you normally would. For drying the paint inside of the bottle, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Since the space inside of the bottle is fairly contained, the paint doesn't set very quickly. The first time I tried this, I left the bottle upright overnight, and the paint mostly settled to the bottom of the bottle. It was also still a bit runny even though it had been setting for several hours. I realized that the fumes were staying inside of the bottle and keeping the paint from drying. I found that keeping the bottle with the top down helps the fumes get out of the bottle as the paint dries. Just be ready for some of the paint to drip out. Also, allow it to have more time to dry than normal. And as it dries, adjust the position occasionally so that the paint does not settle on one side. Add a few coats of paint, allowing it to dry fairly well between coats. Once you have the results you want, you will likely need to clean off some paint from the outside of the bottle. I just use some acetone for this. I tried this with a couple of different types of paint and a couple different shapes of bottles. This was the paint that I used for my bronze play button that I made. Normally it has a hammered look on the dried surface, but you don't see that effect when you paint like this. You can see that the neck of the bottle is shorter than the blue one. This did help more get on the inner surface of the body of the bottle, although it was still necessary to rotate it as the paint started to set. With this one I tried using a mirror effect paint. That paint is very thin and runny. Normally, this helps out with making a smooth mirror finish, but using it inside of the bottle like this makes it very hard to get a good even layer. Obviously, the shape of this bottle is different than most. In order to get the paint even throughout the whole surface, I had to spray extra paint inside and rotate it to evenly spread it out. And with it being an extra runny paint, this also took longer than normal. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any tips for this or suggestions on how to improve the results, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching.